Alright, good day. Welcome to my LinkedIn and another BowmanWebServices.com video. Today's video is all about what it means to be on the first page of Google, okay, and what the percentages are for the different search results on the first page of Google. And so, if you had the number one organic search result, you would be getting 32% of the traffic for that keyword search. And so, even if you bought the number one search result for Google AdWords above this, you can only get 10 or 11 or 12% of the overall clicks. And so here's what I mean specifically. If I do a search on Google for any keyword phrase, and in this particular case we're using an example of Denver Handyman Services. And so in the Denver Handyman Services, you're going to see like a map because it's a local, a demographic search. You're going to get this map search, or Google Places, or what they call Google My Business is going to show up. And so you can optimize that separate from your regular website and regular SEO. And so underneath that, and normally above this, you're going to have a whole bunch of paid ads. This should normally have 2 or 3 ads showing. And so if I go on down here, you're going to have 10 generic search results. Okay, and so they're saying that 32% of the people are going to click this one, and then so on and so forth down that chart. And so by the time you get to, in this particular case, a real handyman service on the first page of Google for Denver Handyman Services is going to be like search result number 5, 6, and what looks like 7, 8, and 9. And then it just looks like those, and then really the rest of the search results are all companies like Yelp and Home Advisor. And so, what does it really mean to a company to move up in the search results? And then ultimately, I'm going to show you how it's done. Real simple way to look at your competitors, a new way to look at your competitors. You can see here that very quickly after that first search result, it's going to drop off dramatically, and even farther and farther and farther. So for that one handyman service that was showing up, search result number 6, they're only getting 4% of the overall traffic for Denver handyman searches. Okay, and so honestly, doing some SEO for that company is absolutely critical, because let's say they could just increase their position by 2, they're doubling their market share. And to say if they increase their position by all the way up to the number 2 search result, now my goodness, they've almost taken 4 times the market share that they had previously. And so it is very, very valuable once you actually, and this ultimately only applies to you if you've done SEO and you actually are showing up on the first page of Google. The actual moving up just 1 or 2 or 3 spots can dramatically, almost triple a company's business. And so, right here we have, and I'm going to show you this real quick. We have a, $49 handyman, okay, is running search result number 8, okay. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, search result number 8. And then Grandma's Handyman Services number 6, Denver Handyman Services number 5. Now let me point out, Denver Handyman Services, after I did a little bit of research, they are only ranking here because they have the domain exact match. Okay, so if somebody starts optimizing this search, which it doesn't look like very much optimization has been done. People have done a little bit of SEO, obviously, to get here on the first page. But when I show you what I mean by optimization, going in and pulling the actual link reports and looking at the anchor text for the individual links, you're going to see that none of these companies have optimized except for Yelp and Home Advisor, and that's because they are big budget companies. They literally have somebody like me sitting in an office somewhere thinking this kind of stuff up. And so here we go. I'm going to just show you real quick why Home Advisor is number 1, getting 32% of the traffic, and Yelp is sucking up another almost 28% of the overall traffic. So Yelp and Home Advisor are absolutely stealing almost 60% of the overall searches for Denver Handyman Services. And you can see that right here. Boom, boom, and boom. And so really Angie's List is then taking up another 8%. And so really like 70 or 68% of all the searches And then you got Google AdWords taking up another 10%. So you got 78% of all the searches are going to services, selling services, before you even get into, the actual handyman searches, the actual handyman companies like Denver Handyman Services, Grandma's Handyman Service, or the $49 handyman service. Okay, so let me just take a quick pause, and then we're going to jump right into these link reports. I'll show you exactly why HomeAdvisor is dominating here for that keyword search. Alright, welcome back to our discussion. And so right here we have, and so let me back up 1 second. I'm going to pull the link reports, alright, for HomeAdvisor, and not the entire HomeAdvisor website. I know the entire HomeAdvisor website is gigantic. It probably has 50,000 web pages, and what I mean is they've actually made pages for every single city in the United States of America. So they've got that many pages out there, and so universally they're building links to these individual pages, and then overall throughout the entire website, that's what gives them their overall snowball effect, and why they are taking the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 search results. And I mean, they're doing it universally. Here's the number one. This is a very high niche search, Denver. But you can go into any one of the smaller cities, Arvada, Westminster, Thornton, and you'll see that, again, HomeAdvisor, Yelp, okay, and Angie's List, and now Nextdoor are starting to really take over the first, 4, 5, and 6 search results for all of the local handyman, roofing, plumbing type related searches. And so, okay, if I go and I actually X-ray this web page here, okay, it'll tell me. So the way you do any kind of basic research is to pull up a keyword phrase, Denver Handyman Services. Okay, I then come down here and I look at these general search results, the ones that are ranking in the generic search results, and I can pull a link report on this specific page, not the entire website, but just this specific page, and X-ray it. I do the same thing for Yelp. I did not do that in this particular case because I just did HomeAdvisor, and then I came down here, I did Denver Handyman Services, Grandma's Handyman Service, and I did the $49 handyman service company. Okay, and so bang, let me hop over here to the actual Mondavo, and so you can create an account with Mondavo and do this kind of research and flip through all this data. It is fascinating if you love this kind of stuff. And so right here, this is HomeAdvisor's excuse me, HomeAdvisor's page that is ranking on Google for Denver Handyman Services, and you can see that they have so many backlinks to this particular page, and they're all really junk. Honestly, they're all 0, 0, 0, 0. They have no value. Okay, but what does have value for them is that they most of them have empty anchor text, but the ones that do have anchor text actually say Best Handyman Services Denver, and that's the exact phrase that is the money keyword phrase for that market, right? And so that's the only reason that they're beating their number one. And so if I go to Yelp, Yelp's got the same thing. The actual page that's in question here, okay, is actually named Denver Handyman Service. So I hover over this, and we look down here in the bottom. You see the bottom bar down here showing up. If I hover on it, it says Handyman Services Denver. So it's right in the tag of the web URL, and the same thing probably for this. So you have Handyman Denver, okay, is in the actual URL, okay, for that search. So they're highly optimized for that, and then ultimately it's just when anybody, even a junk article or somebody pulls a link for a picture on that page, if we were to open it, those links are giving value. And so really somebody could come in here and optimize, and I think I'm going to show you real quick. If I hop here to actually one of the physical handyman companies, not a service, not a listing service, but an actual physical handyman company. And so here is Grandma's Handyman Service. They've got a great link profile. However, in their top link profile, they do not have Denver Handyman or Denver Handyman Service or any other city. They don't have a keyword targeted phrase in here for any of their anchor text, except for just one or two where they have Handyman Service Denver, Aurora. Okay, so I'd actually look at this link text here, and I bet you they're ranking for Aurora Handyman also. Okay, even though that it has a low value. Okay, and so their highest valued links do not have the right anchor text to reinforce their higher position. Okay, for that keyword phrase, Denver Handyman Services, right? And so that being, them being like the number 6 search result, the only reason they're being beat here by Denver Handyman Services is because Denver Handyman Services has that keyword phrase in their actual domain name. So now if Grandma's Handyman Service just got 1 or 2 links that even had like a 10 value on the index, they would literally jump up here and bypass Denver Handyman Service. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to build a link to actually all these handyman. I'm going to build a little reference from my handyman company to their handyman company, and I'm going to move these search results here for $49 handyman, Grandma's Handyman, and Denver Handyman Services, and I'm going to try to push them up here into the mix with these listing services, see if I can push them up that far in the search results. So we'll do that in another video, but real quick before we do all that, let me just show you. Here we have the Mandava report for Denver Handyman Services, and you can see that they have like no link profile at all, and so that's what I mean. They're just getting lucky because they have an exact domain thing. So I'm going to reinforce their position because it'd be very easy for somebody to bump them off of the first page altogether, with just a little bit of link building. And so here we got the $49 handyman. Again, they've got a lot of anchor text that are their company's name, but really none that say Denver Handyman Service. At least none that have any value, over 0. And so all they would need to do is to get 1 or 2 links. And so I can tell you my handyman service is going to give them a link value of like 25 or something like that. So it'll probably be this company's number 1 link. Okay. Going back to my little cursor. Okay, so I'm going to give the $49 handyman their most valuable link. And the same thing with Denver Handyman Services. Their most valuable link is only a 0. So I'll be giving them a really nice link. And the same thing here with these guys. But they've already got a nice link profile. Mine might float up here in the top 3 for Grandma's Handyman. But mine's going to be a highly targeted, anchor text. Okay. Come back here in a minute. I'll show you how that all works out. And so ultimately the idea is just to get this, just to mix up this front page, and we'll just show you how somebody that just takes a minute and does some keyword research, okay, and then analyzes this landing page for Google search, how quickly somebody can actually stir up the search results and actually generate or even double or triple a company's overall traffic. And if they've got good conversion rate on their website, they can really turn a cash profit night and day. Alright, come back here in a minute. Alright, welcome back. So here's what I've gone and done. So I've gone to the first 2 pages of Google, and I pulled all the real companies out of the search results. So anything that's Angie's List, Yelp, Home Advisor, alright, I'm not going to link to those. I'm actually going to link to everything that's a real handyman company. So if I go 2 pages deep, there's just a handful of companies that I'm going to list, okay? And I'm going to do that on my handyman service. So I already have the number 3 or number 4 search result for Arvada Handyman, which is just one. It's just on the outskirts of the northwest side of Denver. And so I've gone and I've listed all the Denver Handyman. I created an article on that website. Okay, and we're going to start an entire study about this. Not study, but just a quick little thing here on Bowman Web Services. And so I created a page there that's going to link to the Small Jobs Denver article, which is linking to all the local Denver handyman services. Okay, and so the whole idea of this entire thing, right, is to actually re-rank this first page of Google for Denver Handyman Services, and hopefully move all the real handyman services kind of closer to the top of the search results, and if with any good luck, I'll be able to move Home Advisor, Yelp, and Angie's List down to maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, on the search results. So by doing all that, I have then changed the entire face of the ultimate search results of every company on the first page of Google, really with 2 articles. So I just wonder if it could be done in just 2 swings with a highly targeted something. And so, just a little bit of a SEO, strategy brought this whole thing about. And so let's see how it all develops. If you've kind of followed along to this point of the video, maybe this all sounds very interesting. If you're actually one of these Denver handyman companies, you should reach out to my Arvada company, and you're going to see very quickly, I think within 7 days, all these search results are going to completely shift. And today being 8/18/2018, it's already live, it's already linked up and ready to go. And so I'm going to actually end this video now. We'll upload it, get the YouTube up. And so, ultimately, I'm going to have, YouTube, LinkedIn, okay, hosting this video, and then they're going to be pointing at both the Bowman Web Services website and the Small Jobs Denver website, and all of that is pointing at these companies that we're trying to move up in the search results. And so there you go. Hopefully you followed along this long, and that all makes sense. If you got any questions, drop me a note in the comments or email me. Alright, hey, thanks for tuning in. BowmanWebServices.com.